So welcome to Cold Brew Group. Oh, fuck. I did it right the first time. Welcome to Cold Brew Got Me Like.
Cold Brew Got Me Like.
I'm coming at you live from Beverly Hills, California, in the penthouse suite at the Beverly Hills Racket Club. And Greg is in Nashville, Tennessee, and thank you, Gem City Record Collector, for he says, happy 3-year album-versary, Chris. So yeah, my 2018 album, Hello, It's Me, has been out for 3 years now. So go listen to it. It's called Hello, It's Me, and my name is Chris Crofton, and you can find it on all the streaming shit, and you can also go buy it off Bandcamp from Arrowhawk Records. And it's a great record. And I got a new record finished, and it should be out, I'm hoping, at the latest spring 2022. But it's finished, and it's better than the last one. And I really feel like that's true. And I love that last one.
I agree.
So, thanks. So, anyway, we got Greg Vendler's on the thing. Anyway, I got to stop looking at the chat. How's everybody doing? So, good.
Well, you said you're in the Beverly Hills Hilton Racket Club. Is that what you said?
I don't know what I said.
Well, I'm
trying to cheer myself up because I'm actually in Monrovia, and it's hot as the devil's ball sack.
Well, I'm in the ball closet, and I'm stacking towels, and I have to string about 10 rackets, and they're all wooden.
Oh wow! I forgot about racket stringing.
And I'm in a bad mood because I have to string 10 rackets in 8 hours.
I'm in a bad mood because it's hot. And I'm not really in the Beverly Hills Hotel, because if I was, I'd be, or wherever, the Beverly Hills Racket Club, because if I did that, their air conditioning is fucking booming. There's nothing rich people like to do more than blast air conditioning in rooms they don't even use. I'm serious. You ever been to a rich person's house? Like, you go to some room no one's been in for, a room that just has like an outlet in it, and no furniture, and it's just freezing cold in there. That's what I aspire to refrigerate areas that I don't use. It's the ultimate power move. Like, they go on vacation for like 9 weeks and keep their fucking whole house air conditioned, like in the air conditioner, like their room with a foosball table in it. They haven't been in since 1989. Freezing cold. It's very hot up here in Monrovia today. And my house is not insulated, so it's like living in a shed. I've said it before. I don't know if I've said it on the show, but I love my little house. But it's like living. It's like if when you go in a shed at high noon, I feel like a lawnmower or a gas can. I feel like that's the temperature. Like a gas can when you go into a shed during a hot day. That's how I feel. Do you think that gas can's in a good mood about doing a podcast?
No.
Nope. That gas can wants to take a nap.
Cold Brew got me like.
Anyway, I'm not going to be surly the whole show. We got some great material today, and I'm not in Beverly Hills, but if I was in Beverly Hills, I'd be a whole different person. There certainly wouldn't be a Cold Brew Got Me Like podcast. I would be just buying and selling stocks, or playing tennis, or being mad at my doubles partner, or yelling at some producer guy who has a hair transplant that he fucked up my doubles match. That's what I'd be doing right now.
Cold Brew Got Me Like.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I want to try to finish my scenario.
Okay, good. Yeah. You're down in the racket room at the Beverly Hills Racket Club.
The ball/racket room.
Are you restringing Colin Farrell's racket?
No, it's much longer. It's back in the 70s after Jack Nicholson just filmed The Shining.
Oh, wow.
And he's playing doubles, and he comes in, he broke a string, and he's like, he wants the balls to go faster, so I have to string it tighter for him. So that sounds
about right. That sounds about right. Ever since The Shining, Jack has been just really upset about the speed of tennis balls. He just feels like they're not going fast enough.
He keeps breaking the rackets on the ball boy's head.
He's mad at the laws of the universe, though, because it's really physics at a certain point. You can't get these balls to go faster. You can't just yell at physics, but Jack doesn't seem to understand that. He thinks if you yell at physics, it'll change.
And we keep the ball closet sub-zero, so he's extremely comfortable, so he keeps coming in.
Yeah.
He's attracted to the air conditioning.
Is he smoking cigarettes while he plays tennis? I bet he is.
Yeah, he still smoked at that point.
Yeah.
He's headed to a Lakers game.
I'm surprised at that point in his career why he would take a break from having sex to play tennis. It seems like it would have cut into his sex time.
It was mixed doubles.
He stopped having sex where he's like, listen, I'll play tennis with you, but it's really cuts into my sex schedule.
Cold brew got me like.
I have a line of people I don't care about outside my hotel room waiting to have sex with me. So I can only play a short game.
Oh, your mic just went in and out a little bit.
It did?
Well, it's fine.
Fuck, it's weird. Oh, no. Okay. All right, everything's good. That's what everybody says. That's what technical director says. Oh, so I was going to say before to welcome to everybody who's in the power directors. Welcome to the Gimblins in the chat. It's nice to see everybody. Sorry we missed last week, but I was on the road. I went home to Nashville to do to host Tristan. Her real name is her full name is Tristan Gaspaderic. So she never says Gaspaderic because I also thought it was Gaspaderic, but I think it's Gaspaderic. And she goes by Tristan, and she put out a new record called Aquatic Flowers, which is so great. And you guys should listen to it. It's on all the usual places. And I went home and hosted her release show, and it was so fun. And we're going to do a pay-per-view of it or something. It's going to be rebroadcast at some point, but I really was happy with how it went. I wore a tuxedo that I rented from a kind of a funny tuxedo man in Nashville who said he went into the shop every day during the pandemic, even though he knew no one was coming, and just sat in there. He said that there's no, because all their business is weddings, and everybody canceled their weddings. But he said he still went in there every day and sat around with these mannequins with tuxedos on them, I guess, and just contemplated his humanity. Like it was like his Walden.
Cold brew got me
like. It was like Walden Pond. It was like his Walden. It was just him and just like contemplating tuxedos. And I would imagine that would be fairly depressing. If you look at a tuxedo for long enough, I feel like you might get kind of depressed. I mean, tuxedos you don't want to dwell on what tuxedos, especially rented tuxedos. You don't want to really dwell on what they're made of, who makes them, that kind of thing, why they're so expensive.
I wonder if he has to deal with laundry issues because a lot of special events happen. A lot of sex events may happen related to tuxedos.
Wow. So we're bringing it back to sex. I think usually I want to talk about sex and you steer me away from it. So this is interesting. Okay, so yeah, probably. I would bet that he has. I bet they call tuxedos that are being returned hot potatoes. And there's probably a special chute and a set of tongs.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, we got 4 hot potatoes coming in today. Get the tongs ready.
Somebody leaked on this one.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Someone I'm not going to go any further. Someone got a tremendous amount of meringue on the crotch of this one.
Oh.
Yeah. See, you started it.
Yeah, I like the hot potato shoot better.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's hard. It's a difficult line to walk, but yeah, it's not called the cummerbund for nothing.
Hey, we have to let everybody know that this is our new night, right?
Oh yeah, it's Wednesday night. We're doing the show Wednesdays now because it's easier, and because I write the Advice King on Tuesdays, and I don't know why. Sometimes I like to give myself a lot of jobs in one day, but whatever. Wednesdays is better. So we're gonna do the show on Wednesdays, and it's gonna be fucking great.
Yeah, I think it'll be better. The week will be halfway over, and Tuesday's a little early in the week. I think I kind of chose Tuesday, and Eric maybe, but it was mainly me. So
Well, that
hopefully,
makes sense because for the power directors, yeah, they'll be halfway through the week if this is something they listen to during the work week. Um, I don't know why I think the power directors all have jobs. Maybe they don't. They probably none of them have jobs. Yeah, why else? uh, I'm sure the power directors have jobs.
well, according to Republicans, nobody has jobs because there's lots of free money everywhere.
Oh, that's right. I forgot everybody stopped working because they're
Yeah.
rich now from socialism. Uh,
Well, people might be considering getting a job in September when the dole runs out. I don't know anybody who doesn't work because they're on the dole.
I don't either because you couldn't afford to live on that.
I know.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean,
It's a news talking point.
Yeah, that idea that, well, first of all rich people really want is for restaurants to function. That's all they care about. All they care about is restaurants functioning, and they will fucking turn this country into a fascist regime if it means if because they're like, people are not going to back to work at Wendy's, and I need to go to Wendy's. So we're going to have to reorganize the political system to make people work at these restaurants. I don't care how low the wage is. I like to go to these places. I don't want to raise the minimum wage. So if the low minimum wage is going to prevent people from going to work, we're going to have to force them to go because I like using these stores and businesses. Like Starbucks is like, all of a sudden, because of the pandemic, people realize that working at Starbucks sucks. And so they don't go back to work. And rich people are like, we have to force these people to go back to work so I can go to Starbucks. I mean, it's the principal thing that the fucking pandemic revealed is that rich people fucking only do one goddamn thing. And that is go to fucking restaurants. And if they can't go to them, they fucking lose their goddamn minds. And it's so fucking stupid. And they all got divorced because they couldn't go to restaurants. Every rich couple in America got divorced during the pandemic because for once they had to sit at home and loathe each other without some server moderating their horrible marriage. I mean, that's really true.
Yeah, that is true.
And the
Cold
kids too.
brew
They're
got
like, we
me
have
like-
to open the schools again because I'm tired of hanging around with these little people I've never met. Those are your children. Well, whatever. I don't like them. Never talked to them before, and I certainly never plan on spending a whole year with them. I mean, I think it's, rich people want to go back to normal life. Everyone else has realized that normal life sucked, and working in stores for $7 an hour sucks, and they're trying to find a new way of life. And rich people are like, if we have to force them to go back to work, we will, because we need these restaurants and businesses. Because what the fuck are we supposed to do with our money? There's nowhere to use it. We're in a deranged spot right now in America and in the world. And it's just because 5 people have all the money and everyone else is supposed to be delivering them Uber Eats and fucking working at Starbucks for them and pumping caramel into their fucking, fucking chai lattes or whatever. And if they don't get it, then they're gonna force people to work there.
All right, let's check in with the power directors. EJ Steinmetz. I just rented a tux for a friend's wedding, and now I'm convinced there was jizz all over it mere days ago.
I am pretty sure, unfortunately, that that's true. Anything you rent pretty much has jizz all over it, including like, I don't even know, like probably a leaf blower. Even someone jerks off on it just because they're like, it's not mine. I can do whatever I want to it. I don't have to clean it. I bet if people, can you rent a leaf blower? Probably. Like rental skis. Like I think people jerk off on those. I mean, anything you rent, I think you're just going to have to understand that it's got jizz all over it.
Well, that's why it's funny that there's a hotel bonanza. People are dying to get into these rooms where people rent, thousands of people rent these rooms.
There's a hotel bonanza?
Oh, in Nashville, at least.
Why?
You think hotels were sliced bread or something?
Why are they excited about it?
Well, they can't build enough of them, and they're themed, and they're wonderful, and they've even got me wanting to go to hotels.
Yeah, what happens in a hotel? I guess just unbridled sex. Yeah, I mean, anytime you see a well, I'm sure most
Well, the
people
air
in the
conditioning's on blast, first off, right? That's
yeah,
part
now you're starting. That's enough to make me want to go to a hotel
of
by itself. Okay, they
First
sound
thing you
good
do
to
is
me.
crank the AC. That's the
Yeah,
first
but even fancy hotels, you do have to realize that they are completely covered in jizz. No matter how, it doesn't matter. I mean, they don't have some super. I mean, they don't have some way of. I mean, if someone jizzes in the carpet, you're not gonna be able to get all of it out. I mean, there's. I don't care if it's the Plaza Hotel in New York. There's jizz in there all over the place, and that's just something you have to accept. But most people don't want to think about that. Most people don't want to confront the fact that everything's covered in jizz for good reason, because you have to get through the day. Um,
Well, no, those motels, like the real fancy ones, have these devices. They're called super cleaners, and they suck
no,
up
they do not.
all the dirt.
They do not have that. That's what people fantasize. Yeah, they're but no, and all the people who work at the hotel also probably are jerking off in there. I mean, everybody's jerking off all the time as soon as they have a break. Um,
Well, I remember in college, the library was the hot spot.
what do you mean to jerk off?
Well, it just seemed like a lot of sex was happening at the library.
Wow,
Because people had to study. They didn't want to study.
I never went to the library.
You were missing out.
I did. Yeah, I was in my room watching CBS This Morning or
Cold
whatever it
brew
was.
got
What was
me
the all
like.
night CBS? What was the all night show with Charlie Rose on it before he was disgraced? Charlie Rose, before he had his talk show, he was on this CBS overnight.
Was he?
It was like an all night news. Yeah, I used to watch that. I used to sit in my room and just be depressed and watch that at night.
Listen to Poison. And
and then do push-ups to CNC Music Factory.
Hey, guys,
and then Charlie Rose.
Was it called Night Watch? Is that what it's called?
No, was it? Maybe CBS News Night Watch. I think it was. I watched that all the time. I mean, that was after I stopped like going out every single night and drinking 600 beers.
Did Charlie Rose? Did he wear a silk robe during on the show at Night Watch?
No, he was just like a newscaster. I mean, Night Watch sounds exciting. It's just it was just a regular newscast. That was toward the end. That was like my senior year when I lived by myself in this it's a long story. It doesn't matter. I just lived in my own room so I could be left alone. And I was free to be depressed without being bothered. So I just sort of moped. And then I would go out and drink, and then I would mope more. And then I listened to Fugazi, and I did push-ups to CNC Music Factory. That song. Everybody dance now.
And you were in Hartford, Connecticut. It's awful.
Yeah, in a fortified fake.
And Tucker Carlson was on campus with you.
And Tucker Carlson was my classmate.
He was in a tuxedo somewhere.
You guys in the Power Directors, get a load of that. I went to college with Tucker Carlson. I think I've talked about it on a bunch of shows because he was in my class, and it was only there were only 400 people in my class. I went to Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut. There were only 1,600 kids there, so each grade had 400 kids, and two of them were me and Tucker Carlson in the class of '91. And yeah, what a fucking dick. And you know what else? What a fucking dick. I can't say it enough. The guy's a worthless piece of shit. And I really mean that. I'm not saying that with any hyperbole. And with it, that's completely sincere. He's a horrible, horrible person. And as someone pointed out, I forget who pointed it out, but he's wealthy. He doesn't even need to do any of this stuff. It's all just for his own ego that he does this endless broadcasting of hate. He doesn't even need to do it. He's got plenty of money from his family. And he got into Trinity College, it turns out, by getting strings pulled by his father, and which was a common thing for Trinity College, because Trinity College was supposed to be it was called the Little Ivy, which just meant like, I don't know, a good school you could get your kids into that by bribery or something. I mean, there was I'm not saying it was a horrible school, but I would say most people who were in there got in there were kids with money who got in there by strings being pulled. And it doesn't matter. But the Trinity College itself is like a bunker in Hartford. I mean, Hartford all around that college is like fucking very poor. very poor. And then you go inside the walls of Trinity College, and it's just like it's supposed to look like old England or something. I mean, everybody's walking around with top hats on and shit. I mean, it's just crazy. It's something you take for granted, or you just assume, well, of course it's a college, that's what happens, but it's pretty stark. I mean, it was like the green zone in Iraq. It's just like these crazy, it's like a place for these people to just prance around and pretend like nothing is really happening. It's like when you hear about people being on vacation in some place like Jamaica or something, or Haiti, and then they see like, they're laying in the sun, and offshore some boat of migrants is, full of deceased people floating by. Like these pockets that the wealthy just carve out in America to make themselves feel like nothing is wrong. And that's what colleges are. And that's why colleges feel nice when you're in them. And that's why professors and things, I'm sure that's really fun to like walk around in your tweed jacket and pretend it's 1910 or something. But it's also kind of like, it's just hiding and sort of, I don't know. Like it appeals to me sometimes to be like, the idea of being like a professor seems like it'd be kind of fun. But then again, you're sort of like hiding out,
Well,
Cold brew got me like.
I was considering being a journalism professor, and when I moved to Nashville, I moved in with Chris, and he was still drinking, and he said, "Professor." It's like, those professors are the stupidest people alive. They're just pretending. It's like they play with train sets for a living, or something like that. And I was like, well, I guess I'll scratch that off the list.
Fuck. Oh man, that's terrible. No,
and now you're saying you want to be one?
No. Cold brew got me like, can you hit the heavy metal? Can you hit the heavy
Cold
metal?
brew
Cold brew
got
got me
me-
like now.
Cold brew got me like.
Well, no, because I got this like I got this book coming out, and nobody knows about it yet because I haven't announced it really. But I have this book coming out, and now I'm thinking like maybe I can weasel my way into the world of academia. Academia? Demia?
You're looking for a velvet shoot.
What?
You're looking for a velvet shoot into.
Well, that's the thing is it doesn't feel like I feel like even the opportunity it does feel like it feels sort of like taking refuge, which I don't like. You know what I mean? Like being on a university campus for life feels like a form of refuge. It feels like.
Yeah, I guess that's what you were saying. It was for wimps. Gem City Record Collector says it's a lot of grading papers.
I saw that. I like that. I'm probably offending. I didn't realize our entire Power Director crew was a bunch of professors I've just branded a bunch of. You're hiding. What am I talking about? I'm in a fucking shed in Monrovia talking into a microphone, I'm in a storage closet. I'm not running any kind of you know what I'm talking about. No offense to the professors. I'm not saying you can't be a good professor. I'm just saying in general, like.
No offense taken.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you can be a good professor, and there are certainly professors that I'm sure have influenced kids to do great stuff. But I also know that there's a lot of professors who just enjoy fucking, loafing around campus and feeling like a fat cat.
Do you ever get scared at night if you hear like a car rumbling by? It might contain Charles Manson and Tex Watson out near your outhouse that you live in.
As the modern kids say, there's a lot to unpack there. I don't ever get scared of that. No, I mean I've heard animals. Mostly I'm scared of animals, but one time something like, what was it? I'm trying to think of what happened. Something ran into my door, but it was like something normal. Like it was like some. I forget what it was, but I was
parrot,
like,
probably right.
What?
Wasn't it a parrot?
It could have been whatever it was, some kind of animal or something like. And I flipped out. So I mean, like obviously, I do not want to get home invaded at all, but I don't think about it much. But I mean, if it happened, I would definitely. Like I found out what I'm like in an emergency in a funny way. I was traveling with this band through Florida. The Black Diamond Heavies is the name of the band. And I was riding in this van and there was a blowout. The van had one of the tires exploded. and I plugged my ears and screamed. And I just thought that was interesting that my reaction to an emergency was just to go like, just to pretend like I was invisible or something. So I don't know.
God, I never heard that story.
I know. It's just like, well, it only happened. It only lasted for a second. But as soon as I heard the explosion, I went like, ah! You know, like, I was like, that's not.
So what would happen if you witnessed a small child on the golf course and a gator came out and snatched the small child into the water?
That's what I mean. I would probably just start crying or something. And
I'd swim out there and punch the gator in the nose.
You would do that?
No. Maybe if I'm wearing a tuxedo. I've had a lot of cold brew tonight.
Excuse me? Can you hit the heavy metal cold brew got me like?
Cold brew got me like.
Let's get on.
Greg would punch a gator in the nose, but only if he was wearing a tuxedo. So anyway, we got some show for you too today, not just talking. Oh yeah, there's Gem City Record Collector. He is a professor. He's really upset. He's getting all. It's like any other job. There are good ones and bad ones. Boy, we really fired him up. He's mad as a hatter.
Grading papers does suck.
Sorry.
So it is a reason not to do it.
Oh, especially because all the kids that got into school are some rich kid's kid, and they fucking can't do anything.
They can't write a sentence.
No,
mainly.
they fucking write like a 5th grade essay, and you have to pump up everybody's grades because you'd have to really fire the whole student body. So you're like, I guess I have to give this guy a B because he's not, his essay sounded like a 7th grader instead of a 5th grader.
Elvis had been born in Tupelo, Mississippi. Nope, that's not right.
What does that mean?
That's the wrong tense and everything. I remember I corrected history of rock and roll papers, and I still have nightmares from the sentences about Elvis.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I went into when I was going to Trinity College, they used to put the tests out on after they were graded, they just throw them on a desk and you could just go and get your result, like the essay. Like you take an exam and then you'd have an essay book and the professors would grade them and then they just leave them on a table. So you could look at everybody else's grades too, or look at their, one day I just went through the essays. I went through just to see what kind of writing people were doing.
It's horrible.
Amazed. I was amazed. I was fucking amazed at how much Americans, get where they're going without doing, privileged Americans get where they're going without doing much of anything. I mean, they just really get helped along every step of the way.
Well, it's getting worse too, because now they use their smartphone as a crutch. And it's just gotten worse.
I know that's right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do some show. This is Cold Brew Got Me Like. Thanks for tuning in every what day?
Cold Brew
Wednesday?
Got Me
Every
Like.
Wednesday. Every Wednesday at 6:30 Pacific and all the rest of the numbers, 7:30 Mountain, 8:30 Central, and 9:30 Eastern. And you can listen to it on Spotify, and you can find it on YouTube too. So today we're going to start with if you guys were here last time, we did some waterbed commercials. Or was it maybe it was just one waterbed commercial, and then we had technical difficulties. So Greg didn't even get to be here for the waterbed commercial, which was really his idea to have it. And it's a great idea. Oh, and then we did Plato's Retreat too. Okay, so we're just going to start the show for fun with another waterbed ad. Here we go. Okay, just get.
Oh my God!
Whoever thought of that, I doubt when that was made that cold brew had been invented. But whoever thought of that commercial Definitely, it had quite a bit of U-Ban or Folgers or whatever they were drinking.
The first frame looks like it's advertising a condom, the naturalizer.
Well, yeah, I feel like is this an ad for Bigfoot, the truck, or is this an ad for waterbeds? I don't understand. Like, why would you need? What's the scenario where? Okay, for people listening at home, this is a waterbed commercial where they've taken these waterbeds, which outside of a waterbed frame, they just look like water balloons, pretty much. They just look like sacks. They look like they don't look attractive, and they are being run over by that famous monster truck, Bigfoot, in the commercial. They're running over these waterbeds, and it says you get a free Bigfoot poster if you buy a waterbed. Did you see that?
No, I missed that.
Yeah, it says you get a free Bigfoot poster, and I gotta say that out of the whole ad, like the only thing that made me want, I kind of want that poster. Like, so I think I just want to know, like, I think people should. We're watching this Bigfoot run over these mattresses, which are waterbed mattresses. So they're really just bags of water that they're running. They're free Bigfoot poster with any purchase. I think there should be more poster. I want that poster. That made me, I seriously, like, that piqued my interest. I was like, man, I want a free poster.
I think our brother David had a poster like that, probably.
So anyway, yeah, I don't know what they're proving with this, though. What scenario would your bed be being run over by a truck? I mean, you'd be dead. It wouldn't matter how your waterbed did.
Well, no, that's for sex endurance. It's just a show.
Right, but that's all right. But I guess so. I mean, that's what I was going to get around to. Everything comes back to sex, as it always does in life. But yeah, I mean, what scenario? Well, what is happening here? I mean, there's never going to be a time where I don't think these beds aren't big enough to fit enough people to destroy a. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's a crazy idea, and I think whoever thought of this was overestimating how worried people are about trucks running over their waterbed. I just don't. It didn't make me want. Yes. But what, the one that we're looking at right now? What is it? What is it? It looks like it's got like. It looks kind of like a landscape from the movie Dune or something.
Yeah, it looks like a diorama.
I can't really figure out what it is. It's like some kind of sculpture, or looks like maybe like Gandalf's headboard. Like some kind of Dungeons and Dragons fantasy headboard. Of course, covered in jism. Probably carved out of jism.
Gem City Record Collector says, "Are they implying you're going to have sex with a Sasquatch?" I guess the Bigfoot in the waterbed.
I guess so, but I just think it diminishes. These waterbeds look worse because outside of the frame, they look like, like a bag you get a goldfish in, like if you're at the fair.
Right.
I mean, they just look like bags of water. They don't even look like they should be free. Like when you see this truck driving over them, it diminishes their value. It doesn't. They look like shit. It's like he's driving over 2 bags of leaves or something, and that's what you're. I don't understand it. It just makes these beds look awful.
Yeah, they're
like that's what you're supposed to sleep on. These fucking. And what do they do? Do they test them first? Do they fucking like drive? Is your mattress going to be not only soaked in jizz, but also have they run over all their mattresses with a huge truck? I know, but there's something about seeing mattresses run over in a parking lot that makes you not want anything to do with this business. I don't know why, but it's just like, I'd rather go to the place that doesn't have trucks run over their mattresses, or I don't know. It's like, I want a mattress that doesn't look like a fucking pack of like a fast food ketchup packet when you run over it. It just doesn't make these mattresses look attractive at all.
They must have had some inroad with Bigfoot, and they had to figure out how to use it, because Bigfoot does not come cheap, especially back then.
That's true. It's like having Mr. T stomp on your mattress or something.
Yeah, so they must have been cousins with the guy who owned the Bigfoot truck, and they're like, how can we make it into a waterbed?
You're right. Somebody was like, well, listen, we got to incorporate this. Originally, they tried to shove a waterbed into the back of the bed of the truck, but it wouldn't fit or something. And they were like,
Yeah.
this doesn't make any sense. Nobody's ever going to put their waterbed in Bigfoot, but maybe Bigfoot will drive over somebody's waterbed,
Right.
like in a sex metaphor.
And like,
Anyway, it's a great ad. It's a great ad. I mean, it's a very exciting ad, and I think they probably had a lot of fun doing it. I'm sure they had a lot of fun doing it.
the music is great too.
I wonder if they sold those mattresses that they ran over with. Maybe they gave the guy who drove Bigfoot. They probably said, "You can have those mattresses," and he was like, "No, thanks." And roared off. Roared off toward.
No, that employee got it. Like, yeah, I got the ones from the commercials. Yep, they smell like rubber a little bit.
Yeah, I got like the floor model, 40% off. What is fucking tracks on this thing?
The first idea for the commercial was, I'm Jimmy, and I own this Bigfoot machine, and I endorse these waterbeds. And everyone's like, it doesn't cut it, I don't think. I think we should have Jimmy drive over the waterbeds.
I think they should have had like construction workers with jackhammers go after a bedroom set. And just been like, you can fuck the shit out of these mattresses. They should have bleeped fuck. Because you can do that. It was like, you can beep the shit out of the beep out of these mattresses. That would have worked. Look at this construction crew going to work on this mattress. They can't bust it. So imagine what you and your friends can do in an oily heap.
And what about that bedroom set? I don't think they could possibly use any more wood inside that bedroom set.
No. Let's get to that bedroom set again.
Trying to pull it up right now.
It's a tremendous amount of wood grain. It's not really wood.
The waterbeds look like early test samples of breast implants.
That's what it is. That's what they look like. I was trying to figure out what the fuck they look like. They look like breast implants. That's exactly what they look like. Really flabby breast implants.
Cold brew got me
That's
like.
what it is. That's what's unappealing about it.
If you want a furniture set of entirely the same color wood, come to our store.
Yeah, like I feel like also that wood grain is probably lightly applied. It will only take a couple of blasts of jizz to wash that stuff off. You'd be down to particle board. All right, I'm not going to talk about jizz anymore. Let's go to I think they'll take us off the air. Maybe not. I don't know. I think you can say jizz as much as you want, as long as you don't show anybody naked. I think that's the main thing Twitch doesn't like, is they don't like to see naked people.
Stuttgart7 says, I'm picturing trying to sleep on it while it's gyrating like that truck is driving over it.
Yeah, either way, it's just, nobody wants, because even if you, you can get it run over, but you're not going to be able to get any sleep on that rampaging. After it gets run over, it keeps spasming. It doesn't look fun at all. It looks like a couple bags of water. It looks like it diminishes waterbeds. It makes me want a waterbed less. That's all I could say. And then I don't care what fantasy landscape of wood grain you surround this thing on. It's essentially just a bag of water, which they've made completely clear. So you're really just paying for the frame. Like if we get about 900 cubic feet of wood grain and surround this bag of water, then people will not notice it's a bag of water.
I still want one though. This commercial.
I want one too, and I want to run one over with a Bigfoot too, and I'm gonna take it out in the yard. They're like men and running over their beds with Chevy Novas after they saw this thing. It's true, honey. Come here. It's true. Stop drinking during the day. You just ran over the barbecue. We just got that. Look at it, honey. These things are tough.
After he had like 10 Schaefers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. 10 Schaefers that he was just gonna have a couple. So anyway, he's just gonna have a couple. Next thing you know, he's dragging the whole bedroom set out on the lawn, revving his Nova. Okay. So now we're going on to the next thing. Okay, you guys, you're in for a treat now. Do we have anything in the chat room that we should chat room? Do we have anything in the message board? Do we have anything in the Gimlin?
No, we're all up to date.
Okay, good. Okay, so that's it. We kicked off the show with a whole bunch of talking, and then we did this great video, and now we got more great videos. So
Well, this is something you discovered recently, I guess. It's called the Stairway to Stardom, I think.
okay, so a lot of people in the power directors probably are familiar with Stairway to Stardom. If you're into like found footage, you know, I think this is in some sectors of the internet universe. This has probably been beaten to death, but it's still great, and a lot of people have not seen it. But I would just like to give credit to Christy Benjamin for turning me on to this. Stairway to Stardom was a public access talent show program that ran. I think it was based in Queens, New York. Ran from like 1983 to 1990, or maybe even 1992 or something. So I just picked a couple of musical selections from that show. But also, Greg, do you have a Wikipedia you can?
Yeah, it's brief, but it's a public access television series that aired in New York City from '79 to the early '90s. It was described by NPR as, quote, an amateur talent show many see as a low-rent precursor to American Idol. Filmed in what appeared to be a freshly carpeted Staten Island basement, the host Frank Massey would bring on amateur singers, dancers, actresses, and comedians to perform. Describing the show, the AV Club's found footage segment claimed that, without exaggeration, it was one of the greatest shows ever to be on television. Clips and full shows have appeared on the web and gained a cult following. The disco-style opening theme song was performed by Steve Luisi and All the King's Men, and written by their keyboard player, Ben Stifel.
Okay, so yeah, the theme song is this song called Stairway to Stardom, which is an interesting song on its own because it talks about how when you're on the stairway to stardom, like you don't pay attention to anything in your way and you don't look back. It's just this brutal it's this sweet song, but the message is like, if you want to be famous, that's all that matters, and you just fucking knock everybody out of your way. It doesn't say anything in the song about why it's so important to be famous, but it says, on the stairway to stardom, you don't look back, you don't let anybody stand in your way, you turn into a complete animal. So also, most of the people on this show are completely untalented, and never went anywhere. So it's not like you're going to be seeing people like on Star Search. You can see people who actually went on to have careers. I guess Opie and Anthony, the radio duo, like the morning show people, I guess they were on Stairway to Stardom, and there is a clip of that. But I mean, for the most part, these are people with absolutely no talent, who seem to be, just crazy people from pre-internet days where you just you couldn't put your stuff out there on Instagram. If you thought you were talented, even if you were deranged, you had to show up to a talent show to try it out. I mean, you couldn't just put it up on the internet and have everyone say you suck. You actually had to like go out to a talent show and find out you sucked in person. So that's what these people were doing. This is a dry run. These people were probably, coming from households where their family had told them they were talented. Their dumb friends from high school had told them they were talented, but all their friends from high school were probably deranged people, or huffing paint or whatever, because it was 1980. And they were huffing paint and smoking tremendous amounts of shitty weed, and they were convinced their friend was a star. So basically we're getting to see people who have been told by their peers that they are talented, and because there's no internet, they can't run it by anybody to find out if it's true. So they go on this TV show and then they find out that they suck. But the hosts are very nice. They don't say that they suck because the hosts also suck. So it's kind of it's a very supportive atmosphere for people who are terrible at what they're doing.
Stuttgart7 says sounds like a content goldmine.
It's really great. If you haven't seen it, it's absolutely so fun. And so we're about to see some. And I picked some music because on the show here, I love talking about music, bad and good. But on Twitch, you can't really use, you can't use music because it's generally will get flagged for copyright. So I'm assuming all these people on this show, none of these songs, are songs that went anywhere. So it's maybe a way for us to talk about some music too.
Well, it's public access too, right? So it's probably public property somewhat.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna kick things off with this duo doing this acoustic number. But the main thing you got to pay attention to is this guy's guitar playing is absolutely annoying, and I figured out why. But just listen to this guitar playing. There's something about it. You're like, he's kind of play. I don't know what's so horrible. But he's letting this open string ring through the whole. It's just the blues, but he keeps letting this open G ring when it's not. It's anyway, just and the lyrics are odd. So anyway, here, let's kick it off. This is a performance from Stairway to Stardom.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest, Robert F. Amico and Souvenir.
Took you up to the mountains. We made love till dawn. Two bodies pressed together, yeah, in total one. Friends before, lovers after, so the story goes. I love you, babe, what happened? Who knows? Now we're not together. I miss those summer nights.
I massage your tensions away. You said it felt right.
Rendezvous at 11. In bed by 1. Come on, admit it, babe. It was fun, yeah.
What the fuck was that? What is he doing? What the fuck?
Wonder where you are now. Don't see you no more.
The last time I spoke to you, we were at war. We're not friends, and we're not lovers. You're a vision of the past. The summer of '83 went fast.
Fuck. So yeah, like, there's a bunch of problems.
He reminds me of that guy that crazy singer from New York that repeat the. You remember that guy like Johnny X or something? Or at first I thought he was a famous person. The guy on the right.
Well, he's trying to look like, I guess, like Frank Zappa crossed with like a Doug Henning, the magician. But he's doing an absurd amount of guitar rubbing to absolutely no effect. I mean, all he sounds like he's doing is playing G, just like the G string forever. It's the worst. This is a man who spent way too long on his hair and no time on his. No one has alerted him. No one has alerted him to the fact that he should not play guitar in public at this point. Maybe at some point in the future, but not now. But he spent way too long on his hair and no time on his guitar playing. That is the worst guitar playing. I mean, he's playing the blues, but he must be deaf tone deaf, because you cannot. The blues would never be popular if that was how if they sounded like that, they never would have taken off. And then what? Are you talking out loud on the show? Okay. Yeah, well, also the song's kind of funny because they're like, we're like in love, and now, well, it's just the funniest part is when he says they say who knows? They go, I want to know what happened. Who knows? Which I think is a funny approach to a breakup. Like, just not even trying to figure it out. They're just like, I don't know what it is. They said something about, he said, I massage you to release your tension or something. There was a lot of sex talk and then just immediate, like, we're never going to see each other again. I just thought it was interesting that I've never heard a song like that's about a relationship where you say, what happened? Who knows? I just think it's kind of a funny approach.
Well, the beginning was lots of sex. Yeah, it sucked. The lyric sucked me in the first time I heard it, and she looks fantastic in that outfit. It's kind of like he's a magician and she's the assistant.
I guess so. I don't know. So that's an example of what happens on this show. So that one is just like a warm up. Now we're gonna get into some serious shit. This next song is absolutely insane, and this person should be like in a.
Oh, well, Richard Hell was the guy I was trying to think of. I think isn't that the guy that you know about from New York?
He doesn't look like Richard Hell though.
Okay, that's who I was.
He looks like. I mean, he looks like everybody back then. He's trying to look like. I don't know, but he just needs to. They need to work on the song and he needs to stop playing the guitar entirely. Like they need to get someone else to do it. And then he doesn't even need to be in the band anymore then because he's very tentative with his singing also. He seems terrified. He's a mess. He has none of the qualifications for his job. She has some of the qualifications.
I think he's worried he's going to lose her. You know, he wants to maintain the talent in the room. It's like Ike and Tina Turner.
Oh my God. Oh God. Ike Turner's clawing his way out of the grave right now to try and strangle. Oh fuck. God. I mean, yeah, this is just an example of two people who are in the wrong place at the wrong time. They need to find another, I don't know what job they're supposed to have, but it's not this one. So, okay. So the next one is this woman this is an original song about a hairdresser, I guess, but it really is disturbing. And this woman, I think, should be in some kind of a ward. So let's see. Let's just see. You guys can. We don't have to watch this whole thing. It's pretty incredible.
Hairdresser, whoa, hairdresser, 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 would you set me up, make a little wave or two, make me into something new, 'cause I am so blue, I'll give you a chance, 'cause I wanna dance. And if you really would, it would be understood. I'll make sure I tip you good. Cut my hair, it won't behave. Set it up with gel and a wave. 1 or 2 ringlets. Keep the top a little
you can pause
wet.
it for a minute. Okay. Now, this is one of these songs where the lyrics got out of control really fast. Like it started out being about a hairdresser, but then very quickly she started talking about dancing with somebody. And this happens a lot in bad songs where the people just get kind of like they don't know what to rhyme with something, and then they just start rhyming things that don't have anything to do with the subject matter. So she started out talking about a hairdresser and wanting this hairdresser to give her a good haircut. And then she started talking about dancing with the hairdresser. But she didn't have any segue to that. They didn't go anywhere for dance. They didn't say they went somewhere. She didn't go somewhere with the hairdresser where there was dancing. So I always think it's interesting when just for rhyming's sake, people get way off topic and then they just go back to the song as if we're not going to notice. But I want to know this woman, well, the look on her face says a lot right now. And also, I wondered, are her parents are they going to let her back in the house after they see this? Because she's obviously
you can't hear her.
What?
She looks okay if you can't hear her.
This song is like 5 minutes long. It's so long, and it has a whole other part to it. But we can watch a little bit longer. It's really tough. Though. I mean, this woman is.
Hey, don't get so upset. I think something's wrong. You're taking much too long. Are you sure this piece looks great? I'm worried, I'm tired, I'm late.
Okay, see, what is this?
I want
it.
it just
Can you stop
like
it again? What is
yours.
she talking about? What is it? Why is the hairdresser mad? She just sat down in the chair. What is the hairdresser mad that she wanted to dance for no reason? Like, what is happening? Why are you so mad? And all this is just based on rhyming. She's just making the subject matter as a slave to the rhyme. She's saying gibberish because it rhymes. But the story is, I've completely gotten lost. I have no idea what's happening between her and this hairdresser.
Gem City record collector said if they weren't playing the music from a boombox in the corner, it might sound a little better.
Maybe a small amount. You're right. It's probably that. It's probably a good song. It's mostly the boombox's fault. No, I get what you mean, though. You're right. But I don't understand what she has no. I don't care how many faces she makes or what leather outfit she's wearing. This story she's singing, this hairdresser story makes no fucking sense at all. Why is the hairdresser mad at her? Anyway, and why'd she want to dance with the hairdresser so soon after sitting in the chair? I mean, that would maybe make the hairdresser mad. I don't know.
So you have a problem with the narrative?
Oh yeah, because like one of the things in songwriting is you can't just like start rhyming. I mean, writing songs would be easy if you didn't have to like pay attention to what the subject was. I mean, you can't just write whatever you want and then just like put on a leather suit.
Well, it seems like she's
talking
got
about hairdressers being mad at you. Even you're the jerk. She's the jerk. She keeps talking about like bossing this hairdresser around, but she also wants to dance with this hairdresser. I don't know.
So she's not completely out on a limb either because she's got a backing track of some sort.
Yeah, she did this. Like she wrote this shit. Like, and everybody in her family probably was like, gave her a wide berth while she was doing it.
Go for it. You can do it.
Oh, I think it was probably the opposite. They're like, how are you? They're probably like staying away from her. What have you been doing up in your room? I've heard a lot of noise up there. You're not writing a song called Hairdresser that you're going to do on a public access show, are you? No, Mom, I'm not.
Are you going out to Staten Island this weekend to record?
Did you cut up our leather couch from the basement?
You really don't like this lady.
Oh no, I don't. I think she's gone crazy. She seems like she's gone crazy to me in every possible way. And she seems angry. She's angry at the hairdresser of the song. The hairdresser didn't do anything. This woman came marching in, started singing and prancing, and this hairdresser's just trying to do its job.
I think she looks like Chloe Savine, and I said her name wrong on purpose. Chloe Savine.
She looks like, well, I mean, the entire aesthetic of like
Cold
1990s cinema was based on this kind of shit. Okay, well, let's listen to a little bit more of this, and then what time is it? We're about done, aren't we?
It's 9:29.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Okay, yeah. So we'll just do a little bit more of this. I want to play one more song that's important to get to, and we can listen to a little bit more of this. I'd like to hear what she says. I like watching her face get frozen though too. I'm not mad at her, Greg. I mean, I'm not mad at her. I just think that you should have your. I don't know.
You think that's her microphone? Did she bring that with her?
No, I think that's Stairway to Stardom's microphone,
okay.
Like the house mic, covered in jizz.
Jim Morris make better use out of that microphone, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Anybody with any charisma holding that microphone would be a lot better than this.
If I was, I would have been like this lady. That's why I'm sympathetic to her.
Oh no, I mean, I'm not trying to be set.
She's horrible.
It's just I don't like when people just try and pull the wool over my eyes. Like if you're going to tell me a story about a hairdresser, tell me a story about a fucking hairdresser.
All right, let's hear some more of the story then.
All right.
It's confidence I like. Maybe you'll bring it all back. Tease it up. What a tease. What a tease. What a tease. Tease it up. What a tease. What a tease. What a tease. What a tease. A tease. What a tease. Teaser Louise. Teaser Louise. All the guys call it Teaser Louise.
Okay, so stop. I can't take it. That's no. Nobody calls who Teaser Louise. What are you talking about? You can't just change songs in the middle of the song because you want to dance different.
This lady definitely had some cold brew before she recorded.
Oh fuck! This is like somebody. This is back when diet pills back then had Benzedrine in them, and this is all you. I guess that's what this actually illustrates, and that's about it.
Yeah, what were those pills? Metatabs or like what was it called?
You could get diet pills back then had speed in them. You're right, Greg. That's all this is. I should be easier on this woman. She's a drug addict. Yeah, I'm sorry. Of course. No, she probably went to rehab and never did this again. This was her bottom. It had to be. You can't change your song to Teaser Louise in the middle. She didn't ever call anybody Louise. Who's Teaser Louise?
I'd hate to see what she looks like today.
Maybe she got her shit together. Is that Hillary Clinton?
She probably has a huge wig.
I don't know. She's doing her best. I like sending mixed messages where I put people down and then say they're doing their best. Okay, so I've had enough of this lady. Let's tune in one more time. So I want to hear what she's saying though. Just one more time.
Hairdresser, 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 oh, hairdresser.
Okay, stop it. Whatever has happened, this hairdresser has had a terrible effect on her. And I hope she never ever has to go to this hairdresser again because it's just driven her. How do you say it? She's it's really driven her to how do you say it? I can't remember the expression, but it's had a bad effect on her. Okay, so that's what the show's like. So all
right, Pollux Caster says she's an actual hairdresser and she wrote down the conversation she had with a customer. She also brought a smock as a dress.
Oh, okay, I get you. But I don't think any. You think a customer started saying Teaser Louise over and over again?
And Stu Got 7 said, does she only have the insides of her eyebrows? And I fact checked that, and he or she may be onto something.
Okay, well, we got one more thing for you guys, and then we'll see you next week. But the thing I want to show is, let's show the beginning of the next. That's a great picture you got there. Great freeze frame. So let's start the next episode. We'll see a little bit of the beginning of the show, and then we'll there's just one song that I want you guys to hear, and I want to hear your opinion of, because I can't figure out what it's about. Okay, so this is the beginning of the show.
There's a long way to go on the stairway to stardom, and you'll fight for each step that you take, 'cause that's the price you pay. And never look back down the stairway to stardom. You can't ever allow anything to stand in your way. Never think of the cost. Never think what you've lost along the way.
Terrible message.
On the stairway to stardom, maybe today's your big day.
Terrible message.
Stairway to Stardom. It's the show that reaches out to new talent, reaches out to people who have the ambition and the ability to succeed, but need to be given the opportunity to be seen
ambition.
and heard. Talent coordinator Tilly searches out this talent and brings it before the camera.
Let's go forward a little bit, Eric. Let's just go up to this poor guy who. Okay, that's the host, and his name is I forget his name, but he's kind of well known. Who is he? Like Frank? I can't remember. People who are really into this found footage stuff would know his name, like off the back of. They'd be mad at me for not knowing his name. But anyway, he's been the host of the show. He's the host of the show for the whole 10 years it was on, and that's I think his wife, the lady in the peach pantsuit, and there's that man that they have an actual corpse playing drums. And then this songwriter guy. Okay, this is the guy I wanted to show. So now we can listen to a little bit of his song, this first song. But I want to get to his second song because it's the much more frightening one. But we'll listen to a little bit of this. But just to get an idea of how out of tune he is.
A song called Full Speed Ahead that my brother wrote.
The
So
song
many
called Full
things
Speed
I'm
Ahead that his
pursuing.
brother wrote.
I don't even know what I'm doing. Am I leading or being led? So many different winds blowing. I don't even know where I'm going. Well, I'm going full speed ahead. Why think so much, my son? Enjoy life while you're young. Take your time while you still can. But we know what you're going through. We've
Okay,
all
so this is like a
felt
fake
just
Cat
like
Stevens song.
you.
It's basically him ripping
What
off
you
Father and
need
Son.
is a
This
helping
is
hand.
nothing though. This is nothing compared to what we're about to hear from this guy. This next song, it's toward the end of the show. Go all the way to the end of the show. Not he's after this, I think. Yeah, okay. So he's back. They give him a second shot. And he also said, which we didn't show, after he was done with that song that he just played, the one Full Speed Ahead that his brother wrote, where he says, I don't even know where I'm going, but I'm going full speed ahead, which is a great lyric. He said, I'm sorry, I'm so out of tune. So then there's been like a 20-minute break and they bring him back out, but he's out of tune again, but just a different way. Like he definitely worked on his tuning, but he's still out of tune, but it's just like different. It's a different way. But this song, now power directors and Gimlins, if you're still with us, I realize this is sort of a long episode. This song is a crazy song. The lyrics are crazy. And it sounds very upbeat, but it's extremely dark. And he's still out of tune. And I don't know what his name tag says, but I wish I did. So let's listen to this song. I think it's called Barbara, or like I Love Barbara or something.
You know it's a funny thing, feeling low yet I must sing. 'Cause now that you're gone away, there's just some things I think I should say. No, I'm 21, still my mother's son. You are 39, married rich with kids right down the line.
Okay, pause it. Did you guys hear that?
Yep.
Cold brew got me like.
I'm 21. I'm still my mother's son. You're 39, married, rich, with kids right down the line. And that's an example of like another one of these rhyming things where it's illegal. You can't say right down the line just because you need another part, that something that rhymes with. You can't.
That's how I would have written this song.
You know what I mean, though? But like, what is right down the line doesn't make any sense. What do you mean married, rich with kids right down the line? What with kids? You have kids running down a line? What do you mean? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But that's the least of our worries in this song because it gets much stranger. Go ahead.
But it's not that clear, you see, 'cause you were just a little girl to me. Made my day to see you smile, to feel your warmth and tenderness for a while. We forget that Oedipus was king. Sigmund Freud don't know a thing.
All right, stop it. We forget that Oedipus was king. Sigmund Freud don't know a thing.
I think he's chewing gum while he's singing.
I just don't. I can't figure out who he wants to have sex with in this song. It sounds like he's maybe saying he wants to have sex with his mother, but I'm not. Or he can't have sex with his. He can't have sex with the woman of his dreams because he is having sex with his mother. I don't know, but anyway, sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted it. But can you just take it back 2 seconds? And we'll listen to the rest of it, and then we can talk about it, and then the show will be over.
But it's not that clear, you see, 'cause you were just a little girl to me. It made my day to see you smile, to feel your warmth and tenderness for a while. Please forget that Oedipus was king, Sigmund Freud don't know a thing. And even if you'll never be mine, just the thought of you will always make me feel fine.
Strumming the guitar like you're singing normal shit.
Love you, Barbara, from what I see. Thanks for being so nice to me. You know you'll always be a sweet memory, 'cause in my mind it was you and me. Don't worry, sweetheart, can't you see? I won't be chasing you, only me. 'Cause I'm still my mother's son, just turning 21. And you are 39, going on 17. You're a lovely princess caught in my dream. Oh, please don't go away. Can't you stay in my head one more day? Mother's not what I want you to be. 'Cause in my mind it was you and me. You and me.
It's just a fantasy.
You and me.
But wait, he said a mother's not what I want you to be. I kind of stepped on that because I was so
beautiful.
shocked about it. Okay.
Brett Trevor, beautiful. Thank you very much. Huh?
It's like horrible John Sebastian.
Okay, and she also says no. It's like,
Let's have,
and that
let me
lady
tell
for
you,
some
can
reason
I
she
say
says she
something
can't
first?
pronounce his name. She's like, I have so much trouble pronouncing your name, but his name's Trevor Brown.
But I think we have, how many more could we do?
Take it back. Yeah, I want to hear her talk about how she can't pronounce Trevor Brown. Yeah, like let's take it back for the last 30 seconds. I just want to hear him talk about. I think this is really just. Go ahead.
Sweet memory, 'cause in my mind it was you and me. Don't worry, sweetheart, can't you see? I won't be chasing you, only me. 'Cause I'm still my mother's son, just turning 21. And you are 39, going on 17. You're a lovely princess caught in my dream. Oh, please don't go away. Can't you stay in my head one more day? Mother's not what I want you to be. 'Cause in my mind it was you and me. You and me. You and me.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Brett Trevor, beautiful. Thank you very much, huh? Okay.
I'm sorry I couldn't pronounce the first name, but I'll get used to it.
Let's have,
Oh, let me tell you, can I say something first? You know, we'd like to have all of yous on to do
What
two
did she
songs,
pronounce
but
it,
we just
Trevor
don't
or
have the
something?
time.
That's what I was
But,
wondering. What is? I
think we
mean,
have-
I
how
don't
many
know
more
what.
could we do?
There's only two ways to pronounce Trevor: Trevor or Trevor. So I guess she must have called him Trevor. And her name's
Okay?
Oh, yeah, this guy's fucking crazy too. Everyone on this show is fucking insane. I mean, look at this guy. This guy's a nut. They're all nuts. They're all like.
What is this thing called love? This
Anyway,
funny
stop it.
thing.
We'll do that. We could do this for the rest of the show if you guys like it. I don't know if you guys like this or not. But you guys can vote. Somewhere. But anyway, I just kind of can't believe that I can believe it because they probably didn't even listen to the words, but I'm so surprised that they didn't say, what the hell was that song about? I want to know. But I think it also ties into the idea that I was talking about before, where the hairdresser song got out of control because this woman just started following where the rhymes went. And that's what this man did too. Like, this story made no fucking sense because he kept saying stuff like princess in my dream, stuff that just rhymed with other stuff he was saying that had nothing to do with the plot. But he definitely said enough stuff. There's enough meat on the bone there to realize that song is very strange.
Yeah, but I mean, Stairway to Stardom means complete freedom. These artists are free to do whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah, but whose mother is he talking about? Like, who's he? He's his mother's son, and he wishes this 39-year-old wasn't a mother.
No, it's horrible. If I hear one more note of that, I'm going to start crying and screaming and run into the woods. It was awful.
I like the fact that he just kept strumming along after he'd say that stuff as if he was singing, Tiptoe Through the Tulips or something. He just kept strumming, la, 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 la. I'd like to murder a 39-year-old.
It's so bad. It's hard.
I'd like to turn you into a toad. And then he's like, la, 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 la. It's just he's just the way he's acting like he's singing a normal song and singing. I can't figure it out. He wants to have sex with a 39-year-old, but he's his mother's son, so he can't do it.
That's what music sounds like in hell.
He's mad that the lady who's 39 is a mother, and he also has fond memories of this woman who she's 39, but she's really 17. I would like this pulled apart. Does anything say? Okay, does anyone have any idea in there? Nobody. No, nobody knows what that means.
No, everyone's mystified.
All right. Well, I'm sure that
here's something. What if the mother and the other woman are the same person?
Well, I thought about that, but I mean, then his mother's 39 and he's 21. What does that mean? I guess she could have had him. No, then she had him when she was. Well, no, she could have had him when she was 18, I guess. So it's about wanting to have. He does say Oedipus is king, but I think he might have just said that because, just for no reason. Like, I think he wrote a lot of those lyrics for no reason.
And then Pollock Caster says his mom made him write that song to the Mrs. Robinson next door.
Whatever it is, you got to edit your lyrics, folks.
All right. On that note,
thank you guys very much. Thank you to Eric Wilson. Thank you to the power directors. Thank you to John Burr for getting this thing started, and thank you all for being here. And we will see you next week, next Wednesday at 6:30 Pacific, 8:30. Blah blah blah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cold brew got me like.